Hey everybody. So I know a lot of you out there, or at least I have, and everybody that I know around here has, that has a Starlink has had a big issue. Here's the Starlink. It's had a big issue with these guys, which is the network adapter. And what this does is it goes in line. You plug this end into your Starlink modem router. You plug your Starlink into that guy, and then you've got a network port on it. Because when they came out with the new Starlinks, there's no network port on them, and you can't get anything that has a network port on it other than this little network adapter deal, and they constantly have issues. I mean, the Starlink already has quite a bit of dropouts, but that's kind of to be expected from satellite internet. But they get 10 times worse with this thing, whereas this will still be putting off Wi-Fi, but it won't send anything out over this port. And I've installed probably upwards of 50 of these for people and incorporated it into their network via these network adapters. And every single time it has an issue, and they just have to unplug it and plug it back in and do all kinds of rebooting. And rebooting these takes forever and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm going to show you a way around that today. We have this guy, which is a Vonets high-performance Wi-Fi bridge. It doesn't have to be this brand. It doesn't have to be even a specified bridge. I used, a couple of times ago, I used a Wi-Fi extender that had a port on it. So if you have one of those laying around, you can repurpose it for this. We're just going to use this guy because it was a Amazon special, and I think we can get it to work. So I'm going to walk you guys through that process, and hopefully it helps some of you out, because it's a huge problem, and I don't know why it hasn't been addressed yet. So in the box, this is what we had. We had our little Vonets Wi-Fi bridge repeater deal. It's got a network port on it, or network pigtail on it, and a USB that's just for power. It's got a little, I don't want to pull on it super hard, but you see what I'm saying? It's just for power. And it came with a little plug-in adapter deal. I'm sure you could probably just plug this into any old USB thing. What's the output on this? Anything with 5 volts and 2 amps. So a typical computer port should power it. We're going to power it with this guy, though, just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so now we got it plugged into our computer, just like that. And it has a quick setting guide, but it has obviously been translated from that to English, and it doesn't do a whole lot of good. So don't worry, I'm here to help. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up CMD, or actually, no, sorry, we're going to shut our Wi-Fi off, because we don't want to be connected to any Wi-Fi network at the moment, just for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to go over to this little Windows tab, and I'm going to type in CMD, and that's going to bring up command prompt. And then when it opens that up, it brings this up, and what you're going to do is type in IP config. Okay, and that's going to bring up this, and right here where it says connection specific DNS suffix and all that good stuff, right here, this is the IP address of your computer, this is the subnet, and this is the default gateway. And that's what we're looking for, is we wanted to look for what I have connected to. So it's 192.168.254.254. So then we're going to open up any Google tab or anything like that, and we're going to type that in, 192.168.254.254. Okay? And then it brings us to the entrance into this Wi-Fi bridge deal. And in the directions, if you really look through there, in this one it says the password and username is admin. So we're going to type that in, and we're going to log into it. And we're not going to save that. And it says wizard or operative status. We could go through the setup wizard. I'm going to go through operative status and just set it up my own way. So we're going to start with, it brings us into this guy, which is just a whole bunch of information we really don't need or care about too much. We're going to go scan hotspots. And what this is going to do is it's going to bring up every Wi-Fi network that this has the ability to connect to. So as you can see, we've got Simpletech and DAVAN, Jarvis and Teresa. And then over here it has the band, okay, which is 5G, 2.4, 2.4, and 5G. What we're looking for is, I have the Starlink set up as Simpletech right now, and it's never going to be very far away from the modem router. So we're going to choose the 5G. Get a little better speed out of it. Okay, and then it's going to bring us to this page, which we're going to type in our password, which in this case is just the same as the SSID. And we're not going to touch any of that. And we're going to click Disable Hotspot down here. So disable Wi-Fi hardware, disable hotspot. And what that's doing is, it means that this little guy is not going to be acting as a repeater. All it's going to do is receive from the Starlink, and it's going to output over that pigtail that it's got sticking out of it into whatever it goes into, whether that be a switch, whether it be just one computer, whatever it does. It's not going to be trying to repeat any Wi-Fi. All it's going to be is sending it out over a reliable LAN connection. We're going to click apply, and then it's going to bring us down here, and we're going to click reboot. And now it's going to reboot, and it's going to give it a new IP when it reboots. So it's going to say please wait for like a long time, and it won't actually go anywhere. And it's going to give it a new IP because it's going to turn this little thing into an access point. It's just not going to be actually repeating any Wi-Fi. So in order to find that, I have a special tool, which we're just going to exit out of that window. If we go back into CMD, we type in ipconfig, it's going to give us this 1.1, and that is the IP address for your gateway, which is going to be now your Starlink. And now that this Vonets deal is connected to the Starlink, it's telling us that we're entering the internet through the Starlink. So that doesn't do us any good for refinding this Vonets thing. Not that we really need to, but if you wanted to, you could come into this IP scanner and click scan. And what this does is it finds every IP address on your network. So as of right now, there's just the router, the Vonets, and then my computer should be on here somewhere as well. Yeah, there we go. So I've got my computer on here twice, actually, along with some other stuff that I'm not sure why it's connected. But anyways, this tigernet.com, that's our Vonets deal. And you can see it gave it an IP of 192.168.1.101. So if we go back to the internet, we type in 192.168.1.1, or sorry, 1.101, and it brings us back to it. Not that we need to, because again, we're already done setting up. This is just if you wanted to ever get back into it. It gave it a new IP, so now you know what it is. You can go into system settings, you can go into LAN settings, you can change whatever you want, but all that we did is all you need to do. After that, you don't need to do anything. Oh, we're going to change the time zone as well. Ooh, wrong one. Okay. We're going to apply that. And then we're going to leave it alone. We don't need to do anything else. Okay, so now that we're connected, you can see down here, no Wi-Fi. I'm hardwired into it. Okay. We're going to come up here and run a speed test. Click go. Everything pops up. Look at all those ads. And we got speed coming through it. Now these speeds aren't, I wouldn't judge anything off of Starlink based on these speeds. I have my Starlink pointed at a whole bunch of trees and stuff. I'm surprised it works at all. So, but that's just to show you that we are currently wired into it, and that's how the Wi-Fi bridge works. So that is how you would get rid of the network adapter. I wouldn't ever install one of these ever again now that I've done it this way, because these network adapters that they have are crap. So don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thank you.